Hey YouTube, Untapped Inkwell here again, and I am actually not going to read to you from my blog today because I figured out what I wanted to talk about. I always forget that, like, the 2 day span between videos, like, things happen and sometimes I would want to talk about them. So first off, very sad news. Today was my last day of canoeing, so we had a lot of fun. We had a declared fun day, which meant that I ended up in the river, and it was great, very refreshing, very cooling. But yeah, it was still kind of sad. I wasn't ready for it to end, and especially because that class was so much fun. But that's not the actual thing we're going to talk about today. What I actually want to talk about today is hatred. I did a video a while ago about love and about the different types of love and how society seems to have this stigma against any love that's not romantic. And today, I felt that it would be fitting to talk about the polar opposite and hatred and what our society seems to say about that. And hopefully you all can prove me wrong, because what I've seen so far is not pretty and I'm not happy about it. As far as hatred goes, it really just seems like we as a society are inherently mean to people. We can't be nice. And if, a waiter at a restaurant is moving slow or whatever, we don't think that they have 20 tables that they're waiting and that maybe they're busy. We think that there must be something wrong with them and that they're slow. And if, young individuals come off as incredibly angry or whatever, we stereotype them and we label them and we look down on them without taking the time to consider the fact that maybe their parents are going through a divorce, or maybe their little sister isn't doing so well, or their older sister, I don't know, or their brothers for that matter. And, maybe they're just having a really tough time and they really don't know how to express themselves anymore, and maybe, the way they dress or the way they act is the only real outlet they have for whatever's going on in their lives. Because I'm studying to become a teacher, we talk about a lot of the developmental issues with adolescents and whatever. And I'm not saying that, adolescents are less than people. That's not what I want to convey at all. What I'm trying to say is that we judge people and we hate people before we ever get a chance to know their story. And that really upsets me. It really upsets me at how ignorant people can be about this, and how if people are not of the norm, we automatically ostracize them and try to essentially kick them out of our society, and we tell them that they're not allowed to be a part of this. And I don't think that's right. And honest to goodness, I have a whole lot of respect for the show Glee and what it's trying to do. And, if you don't watch Glee, that's okay. It's not really all that important, but you should, especially if you are of the people who feel left out or who, are ostracized from society, because it's going to connect you to really what I feel like our world should be. I understand that people don't like change. I get that. I understand that. That makes sense to me. But I don't understand why that gives you grounds to hate another human being. Just because they're different from you doesn't mean that you have to hate them. It just means that maybe you shouldn't associate with them, or maybe you should leave them alone. And I don't understand why we have to be so hateful to each other when all it's going to do is bring about horrible, horrible results. I mean, yeah, punching people is wrong, but so is calling them mean names, to their face or behind their back. And I genuinely hope that with the amazingness that is Nerdfighteria, the amazingness that is the Harry Potter Alliance, and the amazingness that I have come to know as the Glee fandom, we can actually start making a change, not just in our internet lives, but in our real lives as well. Because I've noticed a disconnect between those two things, and I don't think that's right. So those are my thoughts. And DFTBA.